And prior to my coming here, I have spent the last 20 years with Honda International. I primarily go in and fix stores that they have that are busted and are in need of repair, and I usually go to major dealerships and fix them. And mostly what I've done on my whole life is sell cars. Take them in on trade, sell them, and extract money from the great consuming public. So I thought I would come in here this morning and give you some of the advantage of the 20 years that I've had doing this to standpoint from protecting you so that when you go out, some of the things that are being done to you, you'd be more aware of. A lot of the car business today is based on a tremendous amount of money and research and time and effort that's put into the psychological aspects of the sale and how to make you change your mind in the process of what you're doing. The disadvantage that you have as a consumer when you go to buy a car is that we are dealing with you from a standpoint of you have, in a car purchase situation, you have to balance two things. You have the practicality of your budget, and you have the emotion of what it is that you think that you want. We are trained as professionals on the other side to disregard the practicality of your budget and concentrate on the emotion of your needs. You need to understand something going in. This is an adversarial situation. When you walk into my store, my job is to make as much of your money as I possibly can. Your job is to save as much of it as humanly possible. What you need to know is that when you go out there, I practice on people like you every day. You only do this once every 3 or 4 years. Stores that I go to historically sell 400 or 500 cars a month. In order to do that, we work 500 to 600 deals. I practice this 600 times every month. You practice it once every 3 years. I'm ready for you. Be ready for me. Okay? What I'm looking at when I do a persuasive sale is several things, and I've listed them right here. Number one, I have to identify and realize whether or not I actually have the real buyer in front of me. Historically, man comes in, you spend an hour and a half with him, at the end of the conversation he says, I really do need to go and consult with my family. You've wasted an hour and a half of my time. I need to know that going in. Do I have the buyer? Is he here? Next thing that I'm looking for is called 3-3 and clean. When you make a major purchase in America today, remember one thing. What you're buying has nothing to do with what you're buying. What you're buying is money. What it turns into is cash. What it affects is your budget. What your budget affects is the quality of your life. Keep that in mind as the focal point of every decision that you make. Somebody will not eat if you don't do the job right. It will impact your budget somewhere. It's your money. Take care of it. 3-3 and clean quite simply means when I see you and I greet you and I talk to you, I'm looking for the following 3 things. 3 years of employment with the same employer, 3 years of habitation in the same address, and a clean credit history. This makes you financeable. Financeable means I make money. That's how I am going to structure my presentation and interwork it into the presentation, and I'm looking for those things at all times. Next, I have to satisfy and separate in your mind needs versus wants. I need to sell your wants. You need to concentrate on your needs. This is where I make my money. I don't make anything here. All my profit is here. Okay? My only job, if I'm going to succeed in selling you a car, is I don't have to sell you the car. I have to overcome your objections. There's a saying in the business that nothing begins until the customer says no. You walk into a store, you pick up a shirt, you walk to the counter and you pay for it. Do you need a salesman? That's an order taker. When you have choices to make, that's when you need somebody to sell you something. Okay? Trick of the trade. Never answer a question with an answer. Always answer a question with another question. That's what I'm going to do to you. That's what you should try to do to me. I don't like the color. Is color important to you? Yeah. Why? If I keep asking, you're going to lose. Every single time. Think about that in all of the things that you do. Why is color important to you? Okay. If I could save you $1,000, is color that important to you? Didn't take long, did it? Every sale is set up from a standpoint of there are thousands of different approaches. Basically, they're all broken down, and this is called the 7 steps to the sale. First is the meet and the greet. Second is establishing common ground. Third is to pre-qualify. You do both of these at the same time. Then you actually make the presentation on what you're selling, and product knowledge is critical to success. Next, you qualify the buyer. Next, you write them up. And this is where you make your money. You can close. I know thousands of salespeople that can do 1 to 6 better than anybody in the world and can't close. And they starve. And they die. And they change jobs. Build all of these to be able to close. This is where you make your money. Okay? I thought we'd go through an average presentation. We have limited time, so I'm going to hurry this up, and I'll do the condensed version. I'm going to ask each of you questions during the course of this presentation. What I want you to pay attention to is nothing that I tell. This is the car, by the way. Okay? Since I'm with Honda, this is a 1994 Del Sol, which is a 2-seater car with a target top, very sporty, since you're all sporty-oriented. And what I have established for this car, so that you can start scratching this down if you want to now, is the following things. You're trading in this car, which is the 1978 Pinto. Okay? The invoice price on my car is $10,000. The suggested retail, $12,500. And ACV stands for actual cash value. The actual cash value of your Pinto is $500. I have established that as a cash value for the car because I can take it from here to the wrecking yard, and if they pay me for metal by the pound, they will give me $500 for your car. In other words, your car has no value at all. And if it's a Pinto, that couldn't be possibly truer of anything in the world. Okay? Let's begin the process. Meet and greet. Hi, I'm Ross French. Welcome to Sandra Bryant Honda. You are? I'm Sandra Bryant. The owner herself. Nice to meet you. Never let go of their hand until they give you their name. Hold on long enough, they'll tell you. As soon as you get it, let go. Remember and use that as often as you can. Okay? I understand that you're here looking for a 1994 Honda, so I'm going to assume that you've already done your homework on all the cars in this particular class, and you've decided that if it was possible, and if you could, and if things could work out, this would be one of the cars that you would consider purchasing, and I know there are several, but we'll get to that later. Okay? Let me explain a little bit about this car. Number one, this is a 2-seat car. I will walk you around the vehicle. I will raise the hood and go through the whole dog and pony show. This car comes with a 1.6-liter single overhead cam, multi-point fuel injection engine that generates 150 horsepower at 3,200 RPMs and has 2,700 foot-pounds of torque at 3,200 revolutions per minute. Means absolutely nothing. Will it pass a truck? Yes. Okay. Slam. Hood goes down. You'll notice that the engine is transversely mounted, which means it's turned sideways, because this is a front-wheel drive vehicle, therefore allowing the power to be directed directly to the front wheels and ensuring maximum safety. Again, smoke and mirrors. So tell me, Sandra, how long have you lived in town?
Oh, 6 months.
Just 6 months. What do you have to do? Where are you from? Really? How do you like that place?
Love it.
Really? You miss Texas at all?
Oh, not too much.
Were you in Texas a long time?
Oh, yeah.
What years?
Over 20.
So, move along. Once you get the answer, you're finished. If you don't get it the first time, keep going. How long have you been here? 6 months. Not what I want to hear. Where are you from? Texas. How long have you been there? 20 years. This works. Okay? You understand? It sounds like conversation. It has nothing to do with conversation. I'm hunting. Okay? What brought you to the story?
New job.
Really? Who are you with? You mind if I ask?
College.
got pretty much number 2 covered, don't you? You got 3 and clean, you've already found it. Okay? Great, now let's get back to the car. You like this red?
I'm not sure about the red.
Well, you know, it comes in 3 colors, red, green, and blue. We have all 3 in stock. Is there anyone preferable to you, you know?
Oh, I love green.
Green? Okay, let's do it. Okay. Have you ever had a Honda before?
Never.
What brought you to our store?
My daughter has one.
Does she really? Does she speak highly of it, or
She loves it.
does she really? Has it been a good car for her?
Yes.
Really?
It's actually my car. I paid for it.
Oh, great. But you haven't had any calls about other bills from when it needs to be fixed or anything.
Just new tires.
Boy, that's great. I just love that. Okay? Yeah, look, it's like, ooh, that's cold. This is my money. Okay? I take this very seriously. When she walks in the door, there's a $500 bill on her forehead. And you know what I think? That's mine. I want it. It's serious business. Okay? That's how I make my living. I put 2 kids through college doing this. Okay? So now we're around, we've done the trunk, da-da-da-da, have a nice time, it's pretty. Have you seen the inside of this car? No. Why don't you have a seat? Okay? Put them in the car. Get them done. Take them out, drive them around. We design all of our demo rides in every store that I go to. The first thing that I do is I design the demo ride so that it is nothing but right-hand turns. Why? Because you never cross traffic. And when you only make right-hand turns, the car seems to handle just perfectly. We never got stuck in traffic. There was never a problem. The car is so smooth, I can't believe it. Okay? And we do this. We practice this and we work on this all the time. People do this for a living, and that's how they do it. Okay? So obviously you like the car. Obviously this car, we're back from the demo ride. Everything is fine. It's a great car. Let me ask you a question. What else are you looking at? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I like the Sunbird.
Pontiac
Yes,
Sunbird?
I do.
Boy, that's a good car. Have you driven that car yet?
Yes.
Really? How did it perform?
It's really good. I like it.
Did you go for the hardtop or the convertible?
Oh, the convertible.
Convertible. You know, of course, that one of the attractions in this is that the hardtop when it started fixing into the front.
Yeah.
Okay. The Sunbird, you know, that's a great car. Was it comfortable on the road? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Is it comparably priced to the Honda?
Well, I don't know. How much is it?
Well, the suggested retail price on the Honda is $12,500. What's the suggested retail on the Sunbird?
A little higher.
Really? More money?
Yeah.
For a Pontiac? Hard to believe. I'm not making, you know, everybody that manufactures cars today has a high quality product in the marketplace. And one of the things that I've enjoyed about being with Honda for the years that I've been in business has nothing to do with the car, but it has to do with the monetary value. Honda, as everybody historically knows, has the highest retained value of any car in the marketplace, and have enjoyed that position for the last 15 years. So what that means basically is that it is never what you pay for something that is important when you buy it. It is what it's worth when you sell it that makes you a continued happy customer. And since we have the highest retained value, as a matter of fact, every major bank and lending company in the country has established on the Accord a 50% residual value, which means that they guarantee that under the proper restrictions of 60 to 70,000 miles, that an Accord at the end of a 48-month lease is worth 50% of the suggested retail price that you buy it for. And that's all been documented, and that's provable, and we have 10 years worth of track history. In addition to the fact that I think everybody knows, if you pick up Consumers Reports, people think we pay Consumers Guide for the reports that they give to Hondas because we historically always get superior marks. We are the lowest maintenance, highest customer satisfaction, and we have the greatest percentage of return buyers anywhere in the nation. As a matter of fact, Honda, on a worldwide basis, has the highest customer satisfaction index, and that's by Polk, that's not by us. Polk is an independent research agency that they hired to do that. And these are all facts, and these are all proven, and I have supporting documentation to support that here. But the Sunbird, they've done a great job with that car. I'm really surprised that it's more money because it's a super car. Never, ever badmouth the competition. It won't do anything except make you look bad. Stay positive about everything. Okay? A convertible in Oregon, boy, that's an interesting choice of vehicle. Are you just enamored with convertibles, or
No,
something you've always wanted? Or?
No, I need to get rid of this. I can't keep it convertible.
Oh, really?
Right,
That's really a shame.
I know.
I mean, what's she telling me? Get me out of this car. Listen to what she's saying. I got to get rid of this thing. The rain's coming in on the side. I can't stand it. It's driving me crazy. Find me something to do and solve this problem. Okay, isn't that what she's saying? Okay. Listen to these people, and they'll tell you exactly how they want to be sold. Okay? So, I've met her. I haven't established any common ground with her. Have I? Not really. Have I pre-qualified her? Have I presented the car to her? Sloppy, short, but, they usually take about 40 minutes, but we don't have a lot of time. Have I qualified her as to whether or not she can probably buy and drive this car? Okay. Now it's time to take her in and write her up. We've driven the car, and before you do this, and I've already established that she's the buyer and she's capable of making all the decisions, this car buying experience stuff is such a pain, and I understand how arduous it is. Before we even go one step farther, I guess I just need to ask you one thing, and then we'll see if it's worth pursuing. Is there anything that I could do in terms of trade-in on your car, price reduction on mine, reduction of payment? Is there any of those conceivable things that I could possibly do that would help you at all in making a decision as to whether or not this is the car you consider buying?
Yes, I can only spend so much per month.
So you're primarily concerned about a monthly payment number.
Right, and I don't want to pay.
Yes, who does? But on the odd chance that you wanted to, you think less of me if I didn't have. People say to me constantly, why do you ask that much money for that car? Because guess what? Every now and then somebody pays it. True story. Okay, now we've learned about Miss Bryant that she is concerned about what? Okay, so guess what? When she says that to me, this doesn't mean anything, that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't mean anything, and that doesn't. This is the only box I care about. This is called a Foursquare. This is traditionally done in most of the car stores you ever go to. Okay? Let's talk about the psychology of the Foursquare for a minute. The Foursquare is written up at the sales desk, and it is sent back to the customer, specifically designed so that from the first time it's put down, every time after that, the customer wins the transaction. Okay? I just made that up out of my head. See how close I get later. We come in and we sit down and we're discussing this. I come back and this is the presentation that I am going to give to the customer. And I am going to say it in one sentence, and when I am done, I'm going to shut up. And I'm going to wait. And you're going to play along and just answer, but you understand one thing. It happens every time. The first person that talks loses. Those are the rules, and it never, ever changes. It works every single time. Well, I've got some great news. Talk to my boss. Here's what he said. I know you got a problem with the retail price of our car. That's fine. But the suggested retail price of our car is $12,500. What we historically do to take money out of that is we just make it up in difference called trade value. Okay? You have a 1978 Pinto that you're trading in and you're getting the Del Sol. You and I both really know that the Pinto is, please take it very quietly and it'll be fine. So what I basically have to do in order to make it sellable to the bank, not to you, is that I have to show that we are in line on our call at the bank for your upcoming loan. So what I am doing is I am creating an inflated price. So basically I'm giving you $1,000 for your $200 car. So what I'm basically doing in reality is I'm taking an additional $800 out of here. So basically this is, what's 800 less 12, right? Anybody take math? Yeah, 11.7. So basically you're buying the car for 11.7, you're not buying it for 12.5. You see that? Okay. Now, what I've done, because we do a lot of business with the banks in town, and they're currently running a sale on money at 9.5%. And since obviously you're going to be one of their preferred customers because they want your business, I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of structuring your loan at the following parameters because the banks, again, like to see this. This is nothing that we're doing, but we can deal with this. And my boss is telling me with $1,000 down on a normal car payment, we can make that so that the payments on that vehicle are only $225 a month. Now, I know I haven't asked you this before, and I told you not to tell me, but you told me you were working on a budget allowance that you had in your own mind. Would it be improper for me to ask you at this particular point in time, how does that $225 number feel to your budget?
So high. I went at about 200, because I'm going to have to pay the gas and all
Okay. Have you priced insurance?
that. Yeah, insurance.
Who are you getting it through?
Well, we have a good insurance. Yeah.
Been with them a long time,
Yeah.
have you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you feel like you're getting a fair and equitable price on insurance?
Yeah, but I need to get the monthly payment down a little.
Okay. All right. So you need it to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 200?
Yeah, or even lower.
Okay. But you're thinking that when you set out to purchase this car, you were thinking about trying to keep your payment under $200.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have the title, of course, to the Pinto? Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me ask you a question. If I could take and give you more money for your Pinto, you're really concerned about payment, is that correct? Are you term sensitive at all? Most cars are financed at 5 years. I'm sure you know that. That's what everybody says. If I could go to 5.5 and get you down at about 190, would that have any deal to you?
Yeah.
What's she sensitive about? What's the only thing she cares about? Okay? So you take what you're given and you make it work into what you need. Okay? Well, you know, my boss probably going to chew my butt and yeah, the whole 9 yards, but, and now, is the number that I'm giving you, that $190, is that, I'm including that with the $1,000 down. Is that something that's possible for you at this particular point?
I didn't want to put anything down.
Oh, you didn't want to put any money down?
I'm going to trade in my car for my down.
You're going to buy a new car and not put any money down?
That's what I want to do.
Boy, don't you love it here in America. No money at all?
None down.
Not even like $100?
Yeah, I can do that, a couple hundred.
Couple hundred.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. You won't in a minute. Anybody have a calculator? Get it out. Okay. $195, $200 a month, 66 months. That's what she said, right? Okay. $190 $195 times 66. $13,070.
Including that 200 down. I have
Okay, but I'm getting $200 from her. So right now we're looking at $13,070. Okay? Now then, how much do I have tied up in her car? How much do I have tied up? This is all smoke and mirrors. Now let's go look at the numbers, okay? Deal's done, went real nice. Everybody's sitting there going, God, brand new car, $195. This is not bad. $200 down, trading in this piece of crap Pinto? Phew, please. Okay, now let's look at my money. Let's do this by the numbers. What's 195 times 66? $12,870. I've also got down payment money of $200, and I also have a Pinto that currently I own for that much money, don't I? Rick, huh? This is just the money I'm making on her payment and her down. There's no money on her car yet, is there? So I own her car. If I don't put any money on her car, I'm making $13,070. Is that correct? And that's if I don't give her a dime for her car. Is that right? When you go to these stores that are big stores, you ever wonder how come they have so many cars on their used car lot? Because used cars is where the money is. You don't make any money on new cars. You make all your money on used cars. Because if I have her car on my lot, and I own it for no money, and I send it to the shop, and I change the oil, and I change the filter, and I give it a tune-up, and I pay my internal rates, I got $100 tied up in it, right? Can I sell that car to somebody for $900 in the paper on the weekend? That's my money, because I don't have to pay Honda for this damn car, do I? That's all mine. Okay, so let's pretend that I own the Pinto for no money, and let's take it the next step. Okay? Forget this number. This is history, right? What did I pay for this? $10,000? And I can blow this off because I own her car for no money, but I've given it a book value of $500. If I want to switch that into the deal, I could make this a $3,500 deal instead, couldn't I? So all that smoke and mirrors. So now we've spent 35 minutes, and how much have I made? $3,070. Okay? Now then, what did I tell her that the bank was charging? I'm buying the money for 5%. I lied. She comes in as a customer, they'll charge her 9.5 or 7.9 at Warner or whatever the sale is on money. But I send 100 car deals a month to you. Am I getting a better deal on my money? Thank you. Now, that's an extra 4%. Who gets that? And when does the bank pay me that? When I cash the contract. I get all my money up front. Okay? And they'll pay me $100 for every deal I send them. Because they're in the business of loaning money. Okay? Now, as that was being presented and laid down, was there anything particularly offensive about that process in terms of the way it would sound to you as a consumer? Jake?
Yeah,
That's true. But you need a car, don't you? Okay. But these numbers don't look bad. I mean, we're under $200 a month for a new car. How long would it take most of you to make that decision? And you're giving me $3,000. Thank you very much. Next. They make money everywhere that you can. Okay? That's how it's set up. That's how it's run. And that's the way that you do it every time that you do it. Okay? Now then, that's how it's done. Let's look at it. We got 10 or 15 minutes. Let's look at it from the other side. How do you arm yourself against going in and making emotional decisions on major purchases? And if you listen to what I tell you to do for the next 10 minutes, you'll probably save somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 to $100,000 in the balance of your adult life. Never, ever shop with your checkbook with you, with any cash, or with anything that is going to enable you to make a decision on the spot. Take your car, you want to trade it in, don't be stupid enough to bring the title with you. What will the guy in the store say to you? If you're serious about doing this transaction and you want the best possible deal, bring the title to your car and everything that you need. No. The very best decisions that you make in your life are always made at home around the dining room table. When you sit down and you make these decisions by yourself and you create the budget, stay with it. Become an informed consumer. Don't ever, ever go shopping with your checkbook, with cash, with your title, or sign anything when you're there the first time. Okay? We've only discussed the sale part of this thing. What you need to understand in every car store is I have 5 places that I can make money on you. This is only one of them. I can send you into the business office, and I have 15 things that I can sell you and make money on. Extended service contracts? Big money. Big money. $800, $900. It'll make a $10 increase in your payment, but I can give you engine and powertrain protection on your car for 100,000 miles. Does that appeal to you? Anytime anything major breaks for an extra $5 a month, you wouldn't be able to pay for it and it would cover you. That policy cost me $175 to buy, and I sell it to you for $900. Credit, life, and disability. That's a sales device. That's a sales device that banks own. That's a sales device that credit unions own. Everybody has extended warranties. Everybody has credit, life, and disability. In the business, it's called croak and choke. Okay. Don't ever go out with any of the stuff that you want. When you are in a situation where you are making an emotional decision, an emotional purchase, get up and leave. If you don't remember anything else, say, I really do need time to think about this, and get up and head to the door. Now, when you do that, one of 2 things is going to happen, and all of them are in your favor. The guy's going to say to you, let me go see if I can make a better deal. Because remember the guy that the guy took everything to, that he goes into this mysterious building, and then when you leave, the guy just chews his butt? Well, that's me. And when the guy vanishes behind the door, he brings everything into me, and I just eat him for lunch. Because if he lets you leave, I'm all over him. Because he's costing me money. Okay? The salesman gets 25% of this $3,000. Okay? So do I. That's the deal that I get. He gets 25%, and I get 25%, and the owner gets 50%. Every time he sells one, I get the same amount of money he does. So he's playing with my money, and I take my money personally. And if I can only make $2,000 on her, and I have to drop $500 to $1,000, I'll do that in a heartbeat. But my salesman doesn't have the right to do that, and I won't allow him to do that. I have a rule. If they walk, you walk with them. You need to touch base with me before they get out of the door. Because if I can save the deal, I'll do it. Because 2,000 is better than 3. 2,000 is a whole lot better than none. So maybe I don't make $2,000 on this Friday. Maybe I make it on you. Maybe I make it on the next one. I got 100 people coming in today. Somebody, when I wake up every morning, I keep telling people this. I look in the mirror and I say to myself, somebody is going to pay for getting me out of bed today. And then I start looking for them. Sometimes I find them at 9 in the morning. Sometimes they don't show up till 4 in the afternoon. But somebody has to pay for my talent to go and do this. And the people keep coming, and they keep coming, they keep coming, and you do it. I'm very fortunate in that I've been with Honda because we've got a quality product. And it maintains its value, and people that buy them don't get as burned. But everybody gets burned in a car. Everybody gets burned when you buy a refrigerator. Everybody gets burned when you buy a couch. Because the moment it leaves the showroom, it's called a depreciating asset. And a depreciating asset, by definition, is never worth as much as it is the moment you buy it. And that's the way it works. I mean, if you bought a Gullwing Mercedes 20 years ago, or a 57 T-Bird for $5,000 and it was still in your garage, it would be worth 20. But trust me, they are the exception. They are not the rule. The reason that the Japanese are enjoying so much success is because of the retained value, not because of the quality of the car. Everybody makes quality cars. New cars are new cars. You know, we spray that stuff in them. You get in, you sit down, you smell it, and you fall in love. That's a special chemical. We treat the seats with that stuff. You get in and you sniff it and you go, oh, this is me. I'm going to do that. We pay they pay big money for that stuff. It's like the Colonel's chicken recipe. Nobody tells you what it is, but they squirt it in the car and it just works. People get in there. It's like putting it in the car business. It's called being under the ether, and that's exactly what happens. You get in the car, you drive it around. The guy comes down and says, "Well, I don't know. You know, we're having a sale today, and the best I can do is I can probably get you payments with no money down for $150 a month." Now, if you were expecting to pay $200, how long is that going to take? Yeah, you're all done. The number doesn't matter because it's all in the numbers. Leave the store. I don't care if you're buying a stove. I don't care if you're buying a refrigerator. I don't care if you're buying furniture. Leave the store. Go to Radio Shack. Spend $14.99 on a calculator. Go home and sit down and figure out what they're making. It's the best $14.99 you ever spent in your life. And when you're out of the atmosphere and you're home and you're sitting there and you figure it out, you go, man, you know, could you do anything with the $3,000? Yeah, like buy another car. It's always important. We make it sound like it's real simple. It works into your budget. Take 15 minutes. We figured out the numbers here in how long? 5 minutes? Take 5 or 10 minutes. Don't do it there. Leave. Say, look, we're going to go get coffee and think about it. 2 things will happen. They'll drop their pants and make you a better deal because that's their job. Either way, you win. You lose nothing when you leave. And pay no attention to what they tell you. You know, these cars are selling pretty fast. They probably won't be here this afternoon. Give me a break. You know, there's 9 of them. Well, we've been real busy. You know. And if you do it with a certain amount of sincerity, you can make people believe that. You're establishing rapport with people. Remember something, that when you sell and when you buy, they're not buying the car, they're buying me. I've had customers say in the store, I'd like to talk to the jackass that's doing this deal. And you know how I can be guaranteed of closing 95% of all the sales? I could just walk up and I go, hi. The guy says, who the hell are you? I said, I'm the jackass in question. How are you? Now, who's on top? The guy says, oh, shit, he told him I was a jackass. Let me explain something to you. For $3,000, You can say stuff about my family. Folks, that's reality. This is about money. If you think I'm the biggest jackass on the face of the earth, and that night I put your $3,000 and I put 600 of it in my pocket, guess what? I don't care what you think. And I'll never, ever take it personal. Because I got your money. And you're right, I'm the biggest horse's ass on the face of the earth. But I'd like to thank you for my kids' sneakers. This is serious stuff. The way that you make the most money is when the people don't know what it's worth and you've done enough homework to know what it's worth. I'll give you a classic example. The most money I ever made on a used car in my life, I made on a 1968 Super Volkswagen ragtop convertible that was white and in mint condition, and I didn't have a clue what it was worth. Okay? I really didn't. I didn't know. I was in Hondas. I don't, Volkswagen hard convertibles. Give me a break. So I gave the guy $4,000. It was $1,000 back a book. I made a call to California. Guess what? They're the hottest things in sliced bread in California, and the kids were paying $9 and $10 grand. I sold the car the next day to a wholesaler in California for $9,500. And when I structured the deal, I had a cash value of that car put down at $4 grand. I made $5,500 just because I made a couple phone calls to find out where the market was on that car. If I bought a convertible here in this market and it was in good condition, I'd send it to the Arizona auction. I'd send it to the Florida auction. I'd spend $500 to put it on a truck to take it to a market where it's worth the money. There's big money in this business. There's huge money in this business. I have salesmen that make $120,000 a year, and that's all they do. You know, the nicest part about this business is that as you go ahead and do whatever it is that you do and whatever you do, and I've chosen my plight in life, and I'm the exception rather than the rule, because one of the problems that I have is, God, I love this business. I really like doing this. I like taking people's money. I get off on it. I mean, it just gives me the biggest buzz. I'll tell you, you don't understand it. At the end of the day, if I've sold 30 cars and I run the numbers and I find out that the store made $300,000 that day, I go, man, you can't sleep at the end of a day like that. You're so pumped up you can't even see straight. Well, when I used to have customers, I'll give you a classic example. When customers used to leave my store and they weren't buying, I used to take my business card out. This is a ploy, okay, so just understand this. This is Saturday morning. These are Saturday morning customers. They go out and they get beat up in car stores all day long. Then you see them again about 4 in the afternoon, they're kind of like, and the wife is going, you better buy something here, I'm going to just kick your ass. And I'm never speaking to you again, and no, we're not going out tonight. Okay? And forget everything else, because it ain't happening, So, Saturday morning, you know what you say to these people? You flip your business card over, you pull the invoice out, you know what you write on the back of the card? You write a price that's $100 less than invoice. And you walk up to them and you say, now, I'm not sure I can sell you this car for this much money, but before you pay one more nickel than that number, guy's got a card. So $9,900. He's got that card with my name on it. Would you sign that? Hell yeah. Ross Frank, general manager. Now the guys at the other store, when they get those cards, they go, God, I hate him. Because he's walking into their store, and what's he going? This damn Del Sol's only $9,900. That's what Ross Frank told me. Would you do that? Yeah. You got another card? What does the guy at the other store say? I hate him. We can't do that. Okay. Now he comes back. Now it's 4 o'clock. Okay? Okay. I want that car for $9,900. No, it's not not a bait and switch. Bait and switches, I'll tell you about my best bait and switch. If you remember, what did I say to you specifically? I said to you specifically, I probably can't sell you the car for this much money, but before you pay $1 more, come see me. You know what I said? With my exact words? Did I lie? You know what the difference is between a good con man and a great con man? A good con man has to have a tremendous memory because he has to remember all of his lies. A great con man never lies. He structures the truth in an obscure manner. Huh? How many stores you been at today? Has it been a really nice day for you? You had a good time? Okay, well, it's late. Oh, God, what did I say, $9,900? Are you going to finance through us? Really? What rate are they giving you? A little rate. Could you be a little more vague? Well, I don't want to. Huh? I don't want to. What if I could beat it? Well, what's the rate? Wherever it has to be there. 9%. Huh? 9%? So I can do it for 8.9%, you finance here? You're in. In that case, I'll sell it to you for $9,900 and do what I told you I'd do. Where did I make my money? Thank you very much. Did I do what I tell him I'm going to do? Damn it, I only made $800 on the guy. That really ticks me off. But I'll take it. Because I'm not the least proud when it comes to money. Oh, the bait and switch story? I used to, the store in Boulder that I used as my home base, we had 4 lines of cars we sold: Honda, Mazda, Mercedes, and Toyota. And we had a very competitive gentleman in town, and he used to sell Toyota pickup trucks, 2-wheel drive pickup trucks for, this was 5 or 6 years ago, and he used to sell them for $59.95 in the paper. And it really ticked me off. So I put an ad in the Saturday Denver Post one week. It said, Toyota 2-wheel drive pickup truck, $39.99. And I had about 600 people stand outside the door first thing in the morning. And I had the truck sitting right in the middle of the showroom. Damn, this thing didn't have a bed. And Toyota pickup trucks at 40 miles an hour without a bed are unstable. But I had a hell of a buy on the bed. You could pick up a whole bed and have it installed for $2,000. But I had his 100 people, and I got his 100 people from him. How much? Where's that truck for $39.99? Right there. Where's the bed? Against the wall. Well, I can't buy it like that. Yeah, that's what they tell me. You can buy it. You just can't drive it. You want that truck? I'll sell you that truck for $39.95, but you better only drive it in school zones. Because at 22 miles an hour, it flips. Now, if you want a deal on a bed, does it have to be the same color? Well, hell yeah, buy a new truck. I want the same. Well, that's a little extra. You said color wasn't important to you. Now all of a sudden you want the truck to match the bed? Jeez. I can't believe it. Yeah, I know, but it's my money. Okay? This has been fun, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good morning.